Small doses. Self-help from the hip. Small doses. We're talking that shit. Small doses. And keeping it real. Small doses. With me and Nana Seals. It's so funky. So a lot of my friends are having these babies. These babies.
These babies, girl.
They're having these babies out here. And I think the biggest thing that's been dope for me to experience and witness with them is just their honesty about the process and about the experience, and them echoing what you've been saying, just that when it comes to not even just Black motherhood, but motherhood in general, that they felt like the narrative of actual information that you need is masked more so by simply just this like fantasy experience of pregnancy and motherhood. And so like when you need to know like real things, you know, like, okay, if I'm lactating, how do I make this stop hurting? Like they said, like, I've had at least 3 of my friends be like, so no one told me that this, like no one told me about the breast is going to hurt. No one told me. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's why I only breastfed for 3 months. I couldn't do it.
That's why I was buying 40% of the baby food.
It's me. Baby powder,
like,
all of it. All the stuff that they're
can't.
like, but all the like dismantling of like the baby powder versus the breast and like all this stuff, right? That we are already feeling like the weight of the world on our shoulders. Let's pile some more stuff on there and say, yeah, you're not good enough. And your baby's not going to be smart. And you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
because you didn't feed it with your titty. So it's going to be dumb.
Yeah.
And that's just that.
Exactly.
It's going to go to prison. It's your fault.
Yeah. It's all your fault. Right.
You should have left.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
What was the scariest part of going into motherhood for you? Or what were some scary, or were there any?
Listen, I call myself like a careerist. So I was kind of putting it off I'm like, yeah, later. So mine
Tika,
was.
how old are you?
I'm going to be 40 next month in June.
I just want to take a moment for the Black don't crackness of it all. And I think it's important that we raise our hands in praise for your melanin and your cheekbones and how they have lifted you up and held you in the grace of youth.
On the main line, tell them what you want. Hey!
Because when you said that, I'm like, if she says she's 33, like, I just was putting it off. I was putting it off, Got you.
I had a baby at 36, girl. Yeah, I was the later in life girl. I was the girl.
I'm 39
like,
in July, so I'm looking into having a dog.
Well, that's what I had first. Okay. And then a surprise happened and I was jumping out of a plane and I wanted McDonald's and I'm like, I'm pregnant. So right after that. Yeah. It was.
Wait, you were actually jumping out of a plane?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you were skydiving?
Yes. I went. So my fiance, he and I were in the whirlwind of a crazy relationship. And he's like, oh, I'm going to take you to San Diego. And he took me to San Diego for Valentine's and we're like drinking. We're like, we're going to drink and have a good time. And we're drinking. And he's like, oh, I have a surprise tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. And it's like 9 a.m. And I go, I want a Big Mac, large fries and a Coke. And we drive to McDonald's and they're like, yeah, it's still breakfast. I'm like, please. They're like, nope. I'm like, okay. And then he drives me to this place, this open field. And he's like, skydiving. And I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, you keep saying you want to do
white, right?
This. And I'm like, he's white. Right. But I did. He's white. He's very white. Very, very white.
I was like,
he's Pennsylvania white.
He introduced skydiving real casual.
Yeah. Well, because when you're like, oh my God, I want to go skydiving one day. I want to do snowboarding. Like you try. I never want to snowboard again. I almost hit a tree, literally. Oh, no. Anyway, so we go skydiving. I was like, oh my God, that was great. I never need to do that again. Right. Get in the car. I'm like, I want a Big Mac, large fries, and a Coke. So by the time we were done with,
girl, like, it's still on me,
girl. Like, and I don't eat McDonald's,
right. Like we don't
all the time when I was a big kid. But so I don't even eat it. So I was like, oh my God, this is so delicious. And I get back to the hotel and I'm like, something's weird. Go get a pregnancy test. He like laughs. He's like, yeah, what? Really? I'm like, yeah. He comes back and he gives me like one of those no name brand tests. As soon as I put it on there, it's like color. And I'm like, don't know what this means. Go get an EPT.
Go get an EPT,
test.
right. So it tells us you are about to have a child.
And literally, I peed on it. It was like, you're having a child, like for real. And we just sat on the floor looking at each other. They're like, so we're in this, right? We're doing this.
Oh, because we're dating at this point. Right. Like, right. Because this is still like, we're having a good time.
Good time.
Y'all really jumped out of plane.
Hello.
Y'all really
no
jumped. That is a literal.
No parachute. So it wasn't like I planned it. It wasn't like any of the things that we're supposed to do societally or whatever. It just happened, and I was like, "All right, let's do it." And she's here.
Voila.
Voila.
So to me, it's like, okay, even in that process leading up to it, like you didn't plan it. So did you feel like, okay, when you said that you were looking online for things, what were you looking for? Like, what was the support you were looking for that you didn't get?
Amanda, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what I was looking for. I just wanted a community. I just wanted a place where I saw a baby who might look like my baby, or somebody I can say, oh my God, I don't know. I just wanted to see people who looked like me, in a very normalized setting. Why? It was like I Googled, because when you're pregnant, it could be a very lonely space and you're searching for something. You're searching for somebody to say what's normal or what's not normal, or things that you need to look out for, or I don't know. You just want to see a familiarity. And I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing, oh my God, I'm scared as shit. I'm having a baby at 37. They keep telling me I'm high risk.
Like you're a prima gravida.
Like freaking you out. Like you're
right.
high risk, and you're just freaked out. And it's true. I was high risk. I would still be high risk. But like, what does that mean? And can I relate to that with somebody else? Somebody who looks like me to say, girl, I was high risk. I had preeclampsia. Like I had that. Just those things. And I just felt like I didn't see it. You know what I mean? And I didn't see it in a space that was just pretty, like I just wanted a pretty space to go to and feel light and like, oh, I don't know. I just wanted something pretty to see, and I wanted community, and I wanted information. If I wanted to know like how to look cute still, you know what I mean? All those good things. So, but again, with people who could at least like look like I would look.
What do you think are some unique, nuanced Black motherhood experiences? Like this right here is one of them, right? Just the fact that like being able to see yourself in the process of motherhood and it not being available to you. But like, for that woman earlier to say like, this doesn't look like Black motherhood. What do you feel are some things that are like actual and some things that maybe are just more stigmatized than reality when it comes to Black motherhood?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
I think the feelings that are just motherhood overall are feelings of loneliness, feelings of being overwhelmed, feelings I'm not doing this right a lot, feelings of failure, feelings of like, girl, my child's a terrorist, but I can't even say that out loud because people are going to judge me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like.
What does a child that's a terrorist resemble? What does that look like?
Well, when your daughter says something like, she gets out the car, walks out of the garage, stands on the stoop and says something like, well, you're not listening to me. I'm not listening to you, at 3, you know what I mean? Or like, who's like, yelling in public, or, who falls out, who, you're just like, I can't stand you. But I feel
I don't
like
like you. I
I
made
don't
you.
like you. I made you, but I don't like you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so, but even saying that, I
Is
feel like is a privilege to say, and not be, because there is a real sense of, I've read articles where Black mothers were scared to tell, when like, say, like, government aides or something would check on them. I don't remember the particular article. They would be scared to talk about postpartum, of fear of their child being taken away, right? Of thoughts that you have when you have a kid. That's a real difference in, like, white women can talk about postpartum all day and nobody's going to take away your child. But you talk about this thing as a Black woman, there is a fear, a real fear, depending on socioeconomic, where you are socioeconomically, but,
absolutely.
like, there's a real fear that your child can be taken away because your thoughts, right? But you got to talk about it to somebody. But what do? We have to bottle it up because my child's going to be taken from me. So I think there are real differences, or whether it's like, I only know one Black woman who actually froze her eggs, and that's my partner Ty. Like, and now I know two because Brescia Webb came on our show and she talked about it. But, like, why? That's a pathway to, like, be like, okay, I'll do that later. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But, like, where are the options, right? And I feel like the options haven't always been presented to us in a way where it's like, here's step 1, step 2, step 3. You know what I mean? And people are giving away, like, there's companies that are giving away, like, like, there's this company that gives away, like, sperm or something like that. Like, there's like a sperm bank thing that
I
gives
don't know if
away.
I
I don't
want to
know.
give away sperm now.
I know. Well,
You
but
know,
they basically, you go in, you look through the book, you get like a voucher or whatever, and you pick who you want, kind of thing.
because I
But, like,
definitely
the
have
fact
just
that,
now started hearing about Black women venturing into that space, but there's a shame around it.
very much so. So I want, here's the thing. Mothers should be let off the hook in general, but I feel like Black mothers have been the spine of this country and the world for so long that we're so used to being the hook. Like, we don't get a chance to move how other people move. So I want to let them off the hook. Even if you don't know if you want to be a mom, even if you're like, I don't want to be a mom, I'm good, I have a dog, but I'm a guy mommy, or, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. But, like, letting you off the hook, like, go live. It's okay. And so I feel like that is a big difference in motherhood and Black motherhood in general.
Mm. What, when you look at, like, the landscape right now, like, I know a lot of folks, myself included, like, we've just started looking at America differently. Like, and it's not even like I ever really trusted this place, but it just feels like it's getting more egregiously ridiculous. And as a mother, like, I'm curious to ask you this because I've definitely heard people say, like, that they feel guilty bringing a child into this particular world and the way that it
Mm.
looks, and then folks who are giving birth in quarantine and feeling like, what, like, how do I make that, like, how do I make this world make sense to my child? Like, so I was just curious from your point of view, like, when you're looking at the landscape of things right now, we just, we're seeing things that have been going on in terms of police violence and in terms of, white supremacy, et cetera. This has all been going on. But I think because people have been at home, like, it's really, like, cutting through in a different way and in some of the worst ways possible. I'm curious to know from you, like, as a mom, how do you look at the landscape of things right now and your role as a Black mother?
I mean, honestly, it's weird. It's like I hold hope in one hand, but caution in the other. And I am cautiously optimistic regardless.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like, but in my own head and heart, I have to hold hope. I just believe that without that, like, there's no getting up out of bed,
Yeah.
and I do believe there are kids in a younger generation who are going to change the world. If it's not if we let them, they're just going to have to do it. And I believe in people like you and like people who are like
Thanks.
saying, here's what it is. Like, let's fix the thing or let's figure it out. Right. And so having a child is also scary. I know my daughter is going to deal with a different set of things that I would. She's obviously half white, half black, but she's a little black girl and her dad's white. And I think sometimes people think because I'm, I'm my partner's a white guy, that all of a sudden that gives me a privilege, which it doesn't.
That's because some women really do think that gives them a privilege.
And it doesn't.
And it doesn't.
It does not. I like literally, I'm like, where is it? Please give it to me. Because I don't have it. It's not in my pocket.
It's the same way that some white people feel like if they're with a black person that they can't be racist. It's like the inverse, it's like, really? Because I feel like there's so much of the singling out of folks, right? Like, you're like a black mom, but not like, you're not like the other black moms.
Oh, right. Like, you're not like, you don't have like EBT. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not like them. Right? No, like my mom had EBT. Like my mom had like I know women. Like my mom was one of those women, but she wasn't. But what does that look like? Right? Is it the welfare mom?
Right.
One of them? Like, is it the one with the vision that you have? This like of a Cadillac collecting welfare check? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like,
is it Claudine? With James Earl Jones hiding in the closet?
What is it exactly? So, girl. Anyway,
because when you just went.
I went.
I saw you go somewhere. Because where did you go?
My mind just said, "Child, it's overwhelming sometimes." Like the whole thing. I feel like there's just like so many layers to it all, but I do have hope. I have hope for my daughter because I'm teaching her and I'm having her around other people and other kids. And we're having these conversations, like these very real conversations, even on Zoom with, Nick and some of his friends and like the stuff that I go through. Like, and I'm telling them like everything that's on my mind. And Nick even, he's like, oh, wow. Like when he first met me, I had like all these slave books everywhere. And he's like, are you going to buy another slave book? Like, cause I got it. I got it. I'm like, nope, but he's more, aware.
Which I started reading Colton Whitehead's Underground Railroad yesterday.
Oh, how is it so far?
Fabulous.
Amazing.
I mean,
okay.
I always, it speaks to Black motherhood. The first stories are about Black motherhood within slavery. And
wow.
I put up a tweet that Charlemagne had posted the other day, and it speaks to something that I think is really relevant to what we're talking about. Hold on one second. And it says, if trauma can be passed down through generations, then so can healing.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Healing.
But I think Black motherhood exists in a unique space with that than maybe other.
Yes.
Motherhoods.
Well, I think it is about healing, right? We existed in trauma. You know what I mean? Like, period. So it is about healing, and it is allowing people to indulge in sweetness, and that's why I named it Sugarberry, because my partner Ty always makes fun of me because she tried to, at first before Sugarberry, she's like trying to figure out names that were just practical names. And then I came up with Sugarberry, and she's like, why?
Wait, give me an example.
Just like
Happy Black moms.
Yeah. Mama who love kids. like just things that were like, I don't know if I want to go to that site. You know what I And I said sugarberry, and I said, it kind of like it reminds me of Tupac, like the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, but like also just like everybody else has these kind of like names that are just sweet
Again,
and like goosh, like all of them. They're just, and not to say those, whatever, but it's just, why can't we just have sugarberry?
Why does ours have to be like the Negro Mother Rising.com?
I shall pass too. You know what I mean? What? Huh? Where are you going?
For colored mothers who consider suicide when the rainbow is enough.org. Like,
I am a mama too, so it's just like, I mean, it's just like, oh my God. So I just wanted sweetness, and it's all about celebrating all forms, all facets of brown mamas, and just happy that we're here in this space.
So let's say you had a conversation. So let's practice. I'm the woman who was in your comments, and you got to have a conversation with her. So let's see. Let's role play. That ain't what Black motherhood is. Sugar, what?